Good day, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Area of a Composite Figure. That's right, we're going to be finding the area of this lovely shape to the left, this Superman sign. And I know it looks intimidating, but you can actually separate it up into smaller, easier to manage shapes. Observe. First thing we're going to do is take our handy-dandy red pen, and we're going to split the shape in two. And you can see that the Superman sign can be separated into a trapezoid up top and a triangle on the bottom, which makes it a lot easier because then all we have to do is find the area of each of those shapes, add them together, and we got the area of the whole shape. So let's dive right into it. Let's do the area of the trapezoid up top first. So that would be this guy right here. Now, the first thing to remember is the formula for the area of a trapezoid. Remember, the formula is area equals 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times the height. Now, I know that's a mouthful, but it's actually not too bad. So let's go ahead and plug in what we know. Well, we know that 1/2 is going to remain constant, and we're going to multiply it by base 1, which we'll say is this top parallel line. It could really be the top parallel line, or it could be this bottom parallel line. Either of these would work. So this is the top parallel line. That's the bottom one. But for our intents and purposes, let's work top to bottom. So we're going to say base 1 is going to be 10. And then base 2 is just this opposite parallel line right down here, which is what? What is the length of this line? Any ideas what it would be? Have to do a little bit of investigating, but if you look down here, this line is the same length as this line, and this line happens to be 19 yards. So basically, we're going to go ahead and plug in 19 for base 2. Little bit of investigation, and then of course the height is going to be the distance between the parallel lines. So right here is going to be the height. How long is that line? Well, again, we have to use a little bit of investigating. We know that from here to here, it's 13 yards. And we know from here to here, it's 7 yards. So what if we just subtract the 7 from the 13 over there? Then whatever's left over would be the length of this line. So 13 subtract 7 is what, children? That's right, it's 6. So the height is going to be 6. Now it's just a matter of using the order of operations. So let's begin with the inside of the parentheses. We got 1/2 times, what's 10 plus 19? Well, 10 plus 19 is going to be 29 times the height, which is 6. And now we just have multiplication. 1/2 times 29 times 6. Now, remember, the commutative property of multiplication says we can multiply these in whatever order we want. So I'd kind of like to do 29 times 6 first. So let's do that real quick. 29 times 6 is 174, which leaves me with 1/2 of 174. Remember, of is a hint to multiply. And also remember that when you're multiplying by 1/2, you're essentially just dividing by 2. So you can take half of 174 by simply doing 174 divided by 2, which gives me 87, which means the area of this trapezoid up top is going to be 87 yards squared. All right, so now we've finished the area of the trapezoid up top. Let's go ahead and work on the triangle on the bottom. Once I clean this up, I have to have a nice clean workspace. Look at that. Let's get rid of that and that and that. Okay, so we know the area is 87 of the trapezoid. Now, let's review the area of a triangle. Remember, to find the area of a triangle, all we have to do is we have to take the base, multiply it by the height, and then divide by 2. So you can see that this triangle is kind of upside down, but we can still tell what the base is going to be. We know that the base is this line right here we keep highlighting. Do you remember how long that line is? That's right. It's the same length as this line right there. Sometimes you have to be an investigator. So we know that the base is going to be 19. And then we have to multiply that by height, which is the distance between the bottom of the triangle and the top. So, what is the length of this line right there? Well, again, we have to do a little bit of investigation. If this line right there is 7 yards, well, that means this one right here is also 7 yards. So we have a height of 7 yards. So it's going to be 19 times 7, base times height, and then we divide by 2. So let's work top to bottom, shall we? We've got 19 times 7 gives us 133 up top, divided by 2 on the bottom. Oh, dear me. It would appear as though we're going to have a decimal. Let's check. So 133 divided by 2 is 66.5. But not to fear, decimals are our friends. Fish is not food. Let's go ahead and write that down. So we have an area of the triangle being 66.5 yards squared. Now, theoretically, we should be able to simply add the area of the trapezoid up top to the area of the triangle on the bottom to get to the area of the entire shape. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and add 87 to 66.5. Let's do that addition. I'm going to put a little placeholder 0. 5 plus 0 is 5. Bring the decimal directly down. And then 6 plus 7 is going to be 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. And 9 plus 6 is 15. Now, if our calculations are correct, then, oh gosh, look at my handwriting. If our calculations are correct, then this should be the area of the entire shape. Shall we check? Are you ready? And indeed, the area is 153.5 yards squared, or 153 5/10 yards squared if you rather. I do hope this video was informative, exceptionally good and helpful. Best wishes to you, and y'all have a nice day.